In yesterday's class, we have discussed about procedures, introduction we have discussed, and I have told about exceptions also. Exceptions also we have discussed. So in Oracle, if you want to handle runtime errors, if you want to manage runtime errors, we have to use exceptions. Like many exceptions are there, like no data found, too many rows, then invalid number, then zero divider. Other exceptions are there. So we have seen working with only four exceptions we have seen. And yesterday I've told about procedures also. So when we say about the procedures, here you can see procedures, functions, and triggers. Procedures, functions, and triggers are called as subprograms. Subprograms means they are small programs will perform a given task. And the main difference between procedure and function is procedure does not have return type, whereas a function will have return type and it returns value. Procedure executes the statements, function also executes the statements. Procedure is a program, it will execute the statements. Function also will execute the statements. The difference is function has a return type and it returns value. And when you are working with procedure, in procedure we can write DML commands like select, insert, update, delete. Select also will use. But in functions will not use DML commands. If you use DML commands, they will work, but will not use. In functions, DML commands are not used. DML full form is data manipulation language. What are DML commands? Insert, update, and delete. And in functions, it contains only select statement. In most of the cases, when you are creating a function, we'll use this select statement and other statements we'll use. Like we can use a for loop, while loop, then if condition, begin, and other statements we can write. And yesterday, as I said, procedure is pre-compiled and is saved in the database. Procedure is compiled first. After compilation, it is saved. At the time of compilation, execution plan is prepared. So execution plan means when you write a procedure, then Oracle will check in how many different ways the procedure can execute. Depends on the commands we are writing, depends on the statements we are writing, it will check. So it will check in how many different ways it is going to execute. So based on that, strategies are prepared, 4 or 5 strategies. Out of 4 or 5 strategies, the best is called as execution plan. అంటే మీరు స్టోర్ ప్రొసెసర్ క్రియేట్ చేసినప్పుడు అది ఎన్ని విధాలుగా రన్ అవుతుందో చెక్ చేసుకుంటుంది. అంటే 4 ways 5 ways చెక్ చేసుకుంటుంది. చెక్ చేసుకొని 4 or 5 strategies లో బెస్ట్ స్ట్రాటజీ means which works fast. Out of 4 or 5 strategies, one is going to run fast. That is called as execution plan. అంటే ప్రతి ప్రొసీజర్ కి ఒక ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ ప్లాన్ అనేది ఉంటుంది. ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ ప్లాన్ అంటే ఆ ప్రొసీజర్ ఎలా రన్ అవ్వాలి అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ ఉంటుంది అక్కడ. సో ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ ప్లాన్ is prepared and it is saved in the database. Execution plan is prepared and it is saved in the database. So when stored procedure is executed, directly it will execute because it is already compiled and execution plan is also prepared. Okay. So when you are working with SQL commands, yesterday I told you, when you are working with SQL commands works slow. Procedures runs fast because whenever you are executing SQL commands, every time they have to be compiled and they have to be executed. ప్రతిసారి కంపైల్ అవ్వాలి, ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వాలి SQL commands. Stored procedure If it is compile once, it can be executed any number of times. Compilation occurs, but any number of times it can execute. Okay, so recompilation is not required. Without recompilation, it is going to execute. And the stored procedures are used on multiple tables. Stored procedures are used on multiple tables and can perform multiple operations. Multiple operations means you can do adding records on one table, editing records on another table, deleting records on another table. You can write stored procedure on multiple tables and it can perform multiple operations, adding, editing, deleting on different tables. And DML commands can be executed on different tables here. So in Java application or projects or websites, in Java application means web application websites, then SQL commands or stored procedures can be used. If you want, you can use SQL commands. If you want, you can use stored procedures. But all will suggest to use only stored procedures. మీరు జావా ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో మీరు SQL కమాండ్స్ యూస్ చేయకూడదు, స్టోర్డ్ ప్రొసీజర్స్ యూస్ చేయాలి, because they are more efficient and they works faster also. Here you can see this create or replace procedure syntax. Create or replace procedure. So replace is there, it is optional. When replace is used is whenever you are doing modifications, then procedure should be replaced. If you are not doing modifications in the procedure, you can write create procedure. But if you are doing changes in the procedure, if you are keep on doing changes, you can say replace. Then whatever procedure you are creating, a new procedure, then it is replaced with the old one. Okay. So old procedure will not be there. You will get new procedure. Replace means old procedure is deleted. In the place of old procedure, you will get new procedure. There replace you can use. Replace is used to get updated contents, modified contents in the stored procedure. అంటే స్టోర్డ్ ప్రొసీజర్ లో మీరు ఏదైనా మోడిఫికేషన్స్ చేశారు, ఆ మోడిఫికేషన్స్ మీకు అప్డేట్ అవ్వాలనుకోండి, రీప్లేస్ అనేవాళ్ళు. ఓకే, you can create your wish. Otherwise you cannot create procedure name. Here you can see create procedure name, argument or arguments, is or as you can use. Is or as, any one is allowed. After this variables declaration we are going to use here. Okay, begin. Then exceptions we can use here. We can use exceptions. And exceptions, yesterday I have told, exceptions are used to handle runtime errors. To handle or to manage runtime errors, exceptions are used. If you use exceptions, then program is completed successfully. Otherwise, it will stop in the middle. It will the execution is interrupted in the middle. To avoid that, we are using exceptions. End is given. And if you want to see errors in the stored procedure, you have to write show errors. Show errors you have to write to see errors in stored procedure. Okay. And if you want to execute the stored procedure, you have to use execute procedure name arguments. And if you want to call the procedure, call procedure name arguments you can use. Call or execute you can use. And here you can use block also we can use. Like this you can write begin, procedure name, end. Like this also you can do. Write description. Stored procedure concept is very important. That's why many lines are there. Procedures, stored procedures, both are same. Sometimes I will say stored procedure. Stored procedures are same. In Oracle, we will call as procedures. In SQL Server, we will call it as stored procedures. In Oracle, we will call only procedures, not stored procedures. Right, give main heading procedures. After exceptions, main heading. Replace is useful when you are doing changes in the program. If you are doing changes in the procedure, if you are doing changes in the program, to update the changes, replace is required. While creating, we can write create or replace. Whenever you do changes in the program, the program is updated. ఆ, ఆ, గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్ చెప్పండి సార్. లేదు 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 క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాను. ఓకే 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 చూసాను మెసేజెస్. ఓకే 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 వస్తాను తప్పకుండా. ఓకే ఓకే షూర్. ఓకే while writing procedure, if mistakes are there, then it will show message like procedure is created with compilation errors. Then what will do? Will rectify. After rectifying, the correct one, whatever we give, the correct one should be replaced. So the correct one should be replaced. Then we have to use or replace, we can use it. Because if any mistakes are there, it will show procedure created with compilation errors. Then what will do? Will rectify. So procedure without any error should be replaced. In that scenario also, in that case also, we have to use or replace. So we will see the example. Creating a procedure to accept employee number and display the other details. So here accepting employee number and displaying a name, job, salary. Only three values will display here. So here we'll create a procedure with the replace. If any mistake is there, it will show the mistake. This we are going to create on EMP table. So my examples, most of the examples are an EMP table. I will use other tables also. But every time I use EMP and DPT, sample tables are used. So here, here I am giving create or replace procedure. So here I am giving mistake. PROCED I am giving RE. U is missing. So I am giving mistake. Create or replace procedure. Procedure spelling is wrong. Because I want to show procedure with compilation errors. Now here, procedure name PRC1 or SPRC1. Any name we can write PRC1. Then here I'll say TNO number is given. So we are creating procedure with one argument, TNO number. So number of 5, varchar 2 of 15, size we should not give here. While working with stored procedures, we should not give size for the data type. TNO number, we should not say number of 5. Okay, after this, here I'll say is. And then here I'll declare variables. Here I'll use TNO number of 5. Here we can give the size while declaring variables. Begin we have to use. So here only it is giving error. It is not taking the message here. PROCED procedure. No, in this case it will not give. I'll show you errors here. So is then here we have to give the option here. Here we'll declare variables. Here I'll say TNO number of 5. T in varchar 2 of 15 and T cell number of 5 is given. So I am declaring 3 variables to store number, name and salary. After this begin. Then here I'll write a select EMPNO name salary into TNO name then T salary from EMP table. From EMP table where employee number equal to TNO. So TNO means the argument given in the procedure. TNO means here. So here I am not writing ampersand TNO. Ampersand TNO means it will accept value from the user. But here I am giving the argument given in the store procedure. While calling the store procedure, while executing the procedure, I'll give number. That number will go to select. Then after this, here I'll write dbms underscore output underscore line. Then here TNO, then pipe symbol. Then TINIL. TSAL is given. And after this, I'll write exception when no data found. If the given number is not existing. When no data found means if the given number is not existing, then here I'll say dbms underscore output underscore line. Here I'll say empNO not found. So here we can use exceptions in short procedures. In procedures, we can use exceptions. Then here I'm using AND. So here it is giving procedure created with compilation errors. Procedure is created with errors. Okay, I will rectify the errors. Correct one should be replaced. So procedure with error should be deleted. Then correct procedure without error should be there. That's why replace is required. So here I'll say show errors. Duplicate records, duplicate fields in record. Table or argument list not permitted. So here I'm deleting ENO, I'm deleting. Only name and salary I'm giving here. E-name and salary. So now we'll check this. So see, here if I give employee number, it is not taking. Because we are searching through employee number. Again, if I want to display with employee number means it is not taking here. You can display name, job, salary, other columns you can take. You can take other columns. Now, if I take name and salary, it is taking. If I am taking number, it is not working here. So procedure is created. So what happened before? Procedure is created with compilation errors. Then we are doing changes. Then correct one should be replaced. Compilation procedure with compilation error should be deleted. Okay, students. ఇక్కడ ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటి చెప్పండి? ప్రొసీజర్స్ లో ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటి చెప్పండి? ప్రొసీజర్ లో ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటి చెప్పండి? ప్రొసీజర్ లో ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటి చెప్పండి? ప్రొసీజర్ లో ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటి చెప్పండి? ఒక నేను చెప్తాను. ప్రొసీజర్ లో ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే ఎర్రర్స్ ఉన్నా క్రియేట్ అయిపోతుంది. యాక్చువల్గా ఎర్రర్స్ ఉంటే క్రియేట్ అవ్వకూడదు కదా. ఏ ప్రోగ్రామ్ అయినా ఎర్రర్స్ ఉంటే మీకు జావాలో ఎర్రర్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, కంపైలేషన్ ఎర్రర్స్ ఉంటే రన్ అవుతుంది కదా. In Java program, if compilation errors are there, it won't run. You have to rectify the errors. If you rectify the errors, then your Java program will execute. But the problem with short browser is with errors, it is created. The errors are not created. అప్పుడు మనం ఏం చేయాలి? మళ్ళీ రెక్టిఫై చేసి రన్ చేయాలి. Then the correct one will be replaced. procedure with errors is deleted and only new procedure will be there. That's why we are using replace. Here it is mandatory. Now here I'll write here I'll use set server output on. Why I'm using set server output on? Because I'm using dbms underscore put underscore line. Whenever I'm using that package, to show the values, then it will give the values here. Again, here we are displaying TN. This is mistake again. Only TE name and salary. So now procedure is created. Now here I'll use execute procedure name. So here I'll say execute SPRC1. Then here I'll say 7788. This number is there in EMP table. Then it will show name and salary. It is giving name and salary. You can give call SPRC1, then 7902. This is also there. So it is giving. You can use execute or you can use call. And here we'll use here if I give like this. If I give 8000, employee number 8000 is not there, then exception will show the message here. Employee number not found. We are using exceptions in this. If the given employee number is not there, it will show message. We can write like this: begin, then SPRC1, then here I'll say 7788. End. So we can create unnamed block and then we can execute. So it is giving result like this. In different ways we can execute. So when we are creating stored procedure, students, when we are creating procedure, is it unnamed block or named block? It is named block. We are creating procedure with name SPRC1. When you create the block with name, it is saved in database. Today I am creating SPRC1. Tomorrow I can see. As long as it is there in the database, we can see. So yesterday and previous examples are creating unnamed blocks. They are not saved in the database. Again, if I want to today, if I create tomorrow, if I want to see, it is not possible. Unnamed blocks means they are not with name and they are not saved in the database. Procedures are saved in the database. So to see the list of procedures, here we'll use DESC user underscore source. So this is the system table, user underscore source. Here you can see, this is the system table containing columns. Select text from user underscore source, where name equal to SPRC1, procedure name. Then it will show the procedure here, like this. You can see like this. Procedure. Because it is in the database, we can anytime you can see the procedure. And here if I want to drop the procedure, I can drop procedure SPRC1. So procedure is deleted. Write the example. So here I am giving three variables here: T name, job, salary. But employee number we should not use because it is taking employee number as argument. It is taking employee number as argument. SPRC1 is predefined stored procedure, user defined. SPRC1 is there? No, students. SPRC1 is user defined stored procedure as predefined. SPRC1 is there? No. Is it predefined or user defined? User defined, not predefined. User defined means I have created. So it is having how many arguments? How many arguments? Stored procedure is having how many arguments, students? One argument. So can I create stored procedure without arguments? Yes or no? We can create. I will show you. We can create stored procedure without arguments. You can create stored procedure with one argument, two arguments, three arguments. You can create with any number of arguments. But now here I am giving employee number as argument. When I give employee number as argument, it is giving name, job, and salary of that employee. Procedure is created with one argument and we are calling the procedure with the same number of arguments. Procedure is created with one argument and we are calling the procedure with same number of arguments. Double seven double eight is there, it is giving record. Double seven double three is not there. If double seven double three is not there, exception is working. Exception is showing employee number not found. You can use execute, you can use call, or else you can create unnamed block. Begin and means unnamed block. Inside this only procedure name. And we are not giving execute, we are not giving directly procedure name value, procedure name argument. User source is the system table. User underscore source is the system table. Please write user underscore source means system table. And here you can see text. Text means column name in the table. Text means column name in the table. Text means column name in the table. And your name is there. Your name is also column name. Text is column name in system table. Text is the column name in system table. Name is also column name in system table. What is the system table? User underscore source. System table or predefined table. So now we'll see how to create a stored procedure without arguments. Stored procedure without arguments we'll see. So here I am creating the procedure, create or replace. Procedure name is PRC sal I am giving. PRC sal. Procedure name can be anything. So here I am not giving any arguments here. Procedure, sorry. Here procedure PRC sal. Then here I'll say is. Then here I'll use a T cell, number of 5 is given. So I want to store max cell in this T cell variable, max salary. Then here I'll say begin, select max cell in select max cell into T cell from EMP. So from EMP table we are taking maximum salary and we are storing in T cell variable. And after this DBMS underscore output underscore line. Then here I'll say T cell. And here end is given here. So we are creating procedure without arguments. So procedure is created. So even I'm not using brackets also. PRC cell, empty brackets also I'm not giving because no arguments. So while creating the procedure, arguments are not there. While calling also, no need to give arguments. So here I will say execute, then PRC shall execute procedure name. No need to give any input. So it is giving 5,000. Maximum salary 5,000. I can write call, then PRC shall. For this, it is not taking. Call for call, it is not taking. So here if I use like this, call PRC cell, then semicolon, it is taking. Without brackets means it is not working here. And also I can write begin, then PRC cell, and here end. So it is giving result like this. So depends on the requirement, we can create procedure without arguments, or with one argument, or with two arguments, or with three arguments. Depends on the requirement. You can create. Write the second example. To create procedure without arguments. Okay. So with the stored procedures, we saw only two examples. I'm stopping now. And afternoon, we'll continue with other examples in stored procedure. Okay.